Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Sitina Amira Shahira binti Haji Aziz with the ID number 25MC1602 and my teammate Alia Patricia will be presenting on the topic titled Managing Food Waste for a Sustainable Environment through the lens of Usul. As for the background for environmental sustainability, sustainability is defined as maintaining a balance across environmental, social, and economic areas, while environmental sustainability specifically focuses on protecting the ecosystems and ensuring human activities do not exceed what is limits by the nature. This idea is often explained to the planetary boundaries framework that highlights key issues like climate change, water use, and energy consumption. While food waste, the waste generation is increasing globally, with food waste being a major challenge. The Food and Agriculture Organization reports that about one-third of all food produce is wasted each year, showing inefficiency and environmental impact. So this food loss or waste occurs when edible food is discarded or diverted from human consumption. Islam emphasizes environmental ethics, guiding humans to act responsibly toward the nature through Quran and Hadith teachings. The Quranic teachings stress moderation, gratitude, shukr, and avoiding extravagance, excess, which align with sustainability principles. While the role of Usul Fiqh, which is the roots of jurisprudence, provides a systematic method to apply Islamic ethical and legal guidance to contemporary issues like food waste. As for the problem statement, the global food waste indirectly affect the water, energy, and agricultural inputs. The food consumption accounts for 20 to 30% of a product's environmental footprint, where food wastage can occur at any stage which affects the environmental sustainability. In Islam, excessive consumption and food waste are ethical and religious concerns, as Quran emphasizes balance with a meaning, and he enforced the balance that you exceed not the bounds but observe the balance strictly and fall not short thereof. So this verse emphasizes that overconsumption, food wastage, and environmental harm are forms of imbalance that go against divine order. Islam thus teaches moderation in all aspects, including eating and resource use, to preserve the ecological and moral balance. To be continued, food waste contradicts Maqasid al-Sharia, which aims to protect life, resources, and environment, as Islam promotes moderation, gratitude, and responsible stewardship of resources. Hence, also al-Fiqh, which is the roots of jurisprudence, a systematic method to derive rulings from Quran and Hadith, provides a framework, may provide a framework to align ethical teachings with sustainability principles. However, application to contemporary food waste issues is limited, mm, integrated with the Usul al-Fiqh. Hence, Usul al-Fiqh can guide sustainable food practices and responsible consumption, which encourages ethical decision making in managing environmental challenges. The first objective is to explore Islamic perspectives on food waste and environmental responsibility. Secondly, to assess how Usul al-Fiqh can guide sustainable food waste practices which align with both Islamic teachings while promoting environmental sustainability. The concept of food waste and environmental responsibility in Islam. In Islam, the guidance on food waste is deeply rooted in the Quran and Hadith teachings, which emphasizes moral, spiritual, and social responsibility in managing resources. So we human are stewards, yani amanah, where every living beings relies on the nature, while humans, we are entrusted to use resources wisely. Why? Why are we Why do we need to use resources wisely? Because responsible consumption sustains the environment, while excess leads to imbalance and harm. This is based on the Quranic guidance on moderation. Eat and drink, but do not be excessive. Indeed, he does not like those who commit excess. Surah Al-A'raf, verse 31. So this verse promotes moderation and discourages uh, excess of waste. So for the environmental responsibility in Islam, based on Surah Ar-Rum, verse 4, um, emphasize that human caused environmental destruction, which is considered fasad, يعني moral corruption. So we human as Khalifa, يعني vicegerents, must protect and preserve Allah's creation, including the environment. So based on the hadith, environmental care is what moral responsibility and also regarded as an act of worship. Hadith provides an ethical foundation for sustainable practices and responsible consumption.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alia Patricia with the student ID 25MC1605, and today I will be presenting about the application of Usul Al-Fiqh in sustainable practices of food waste. The first one is Sad al-Dara'i. Islam emphasizes responsible use of blessings, including food, and prohibits wastefulness. According to Al-Qardawi's view from Usul al-Fiqh, environmental preservation involves two approaches. The first one is curative, which is maintaining existing conditions, and the second one is preventive, which is avoiding potential harm. The principle of Sad al-Dara'i, which means blocking the means to harm, teaches that actions must not be judged by only their legality but also their consequences. In food waste, even permissible actions like overproducing or overbuying food become impermissible if they cause waste or environmental damage. The second one is la darar wa la dirar, the fiqh maxim la darar wa la dirar, which means no harm and no reciprocating harm, teaches that all actions must avoid causing damage. In food practices, this means avoiding waste and overconsumption as they harm the environment and society. Preventing food waste is therefore both a moral and religious duty as it aligns with Islamic values of moderation and gratitude. The principle supports responsible consumption, fair food distribution, and sustainable agriculture, all of which help protect life, resources, and prosperity. The next one is Maqasid al-Shari'ah as part of Usul al-Fiqh. The application of Usul al-Fiqh in addressing food waste provides a structured methodology to drive ethical and legal guidance from the Quran and Sunnah. Within this framework, Maqasid al-Shari'ah plays a complementary role by highlighting the higher objectives of Islamic law, particularly the preservation of life, resources, and the environment. The Maqasid al-Shari'ah aims to protect religion, life, intellect, lineage, and property. These principles guide Muslims to make ethical decisions in food production and consumption, promoting life preservation, waste reduction, and community welfare. Maslahah and mafsadah are used to assess whether an act aligns with Sharia. Sustainable food practices that promote safety, cleanliness, and waste reduction bring maslahah, while pollution and wastefulness create mafsadah. Food safety protects hifz al-nafs, which is life, and hifz al-aqi, which is intellect, fulfilling Sharia's goal of preventing harm. Makasit also emphasizes social responsibility, encouraging food sharing, food banks, and urban farming to reduce hunger and waste. Innovations in halal and healthy food systems reflect maslahah by improving nutrition, ethical sourcing, and sustainability. The last one is fiqh al-bi'ah and hifz al-bi'ah. A newer branch, Fiqh al-Bi'ah, which is Islamic environmental jurisprudence, stresses the Muslim's duty as Khalifa to protect nature. This introduces Hifz al-Bi'ah, which is environmental preservation, as an additional maqasid vital for safeguarding life and property. Preserving ecological balance ensures the success of all other maqasid. Through moderation, wasatiyah, and responsible consumption, Muslims fulfill their moral and spiritual duty to care for the earth. Practices like organic farming, composting, and local sourcing exemplify Hifz al-Bi'ah, linking sustainability with Islamic ethics. Thus, protecting the environment is both a religious obligation and a foundation for food security and justice in Islam. For the last part, the integration of Usul al-Fiqh in addressing food waste and environmental sustainability provides a comprehensive Islamic framework that aligns with modern sustainability goals. In managing food waste, the principles of la darar wa la dirar and sad al-dara'i guides Muslims to avoid harm and prevent waste. La darar wa la dirar teaches that no one should cause harm to themselves, others, or to the environment. Said Al Dorai helps prevent actions that may lead to waste, encourage careful and responsible use of food resources. This practice is heavily influenced by the idea of Maqasid al Sharia, or the higher purposes of Islamic law. These principles promote responsible consumption and production, maintaining the balance that Allah created. The concept of mafsada warns against waste and overconsumption, while maslaha encourages resource preservation and long term food security. In recent years, Hifz al has expanded to include halal innovation, which integrates sustainability into modern food systems. This involves developing ethical, waste free, and eco friendly halal production and packaging methods. Initiatives like Zero Waste Halal Food Service and organic halal farming reflect Islamic values of moderation and avoiding excess. Viewing environmental care as a moral duty, Islam considers sustainability as an act of worship. Thus, aligning halal innovation with Maqasid al Sharia enhances food ethics and supports global environmental sustainability. That is all from us. Thank you for your attention.